Sorry. I can't remember which DLC it is, but Barcia, this map, it is one of the DLC maps. It's a nice map. I quite like it. It's a 2v2 map. I think it's personally too small for a 2v2, but it's perfect size for a 1v1.
Yeah.
A lot of resources too. So it's pretty interesting because there's...
Many flanks.
Yeah, many flanks, such resource. Normally, lots of resources is... Holy resources, yeah. Normally, lots of resources are only on big maps. So this is the rare case where you have both lots of resources, as Amelie pointed out, and also, you know, not much... it's not a big map, per se. It's a small map.
Dude, what's Moobot doing still suggesting Google Forms?
Oh, really?
The AMA is over. We've done that. It's
I don't remember setting that up.
Man, I love the Dante pink, though. He's committed this time.
I think it's technically purple. Or it was purple in the load screen, or in the game. Now it looks a bit more. Oh, yeah, I gotta actually fix this. Yeah, the Nexus actually destroys the creeps. So you can technically double cap. Dante didn't know. Good guy, Dante. But I do need to fix this. See, the creep... Actually, well, maybe... it might not now because it's firing at the engineer. But normally creeps circle around.
You also need to fix... Are these actually connected? Oh, they are connected. Right, okay, yeah. It's just the really bad colour scheme is, like, not helping me. Because it doesn't look like those 2 points from... Those points are connected on the minimap. On the minimap, that doesn't look like they are.
Yeah, you're right.
The colour.
The pink.
Yeah, the pink does not show up well.
Purple,
So.
whatever.
Maybe it should be, like, slightly different tones or something like that. I don't know. Like, rather than lighter tones, it should be darker tones. I don't know. Would help visibility, but... I guess it won't be the same for the players. Yeah, ignoring what I'm sure were
actually, you're right. Yeah, I've never
pro
noticed that. I mean,
orders, so.
the line between... It needs a black outline is the problem. So if you look at the resources, the circles and the triangles, they have the black outline. The line doesn't, so it's hard to sort of tell. Well, there you go, folks. Either way, design quarrels aside, we're always on the job, always thinking of ways to improve the game.
Yes.
It's a full-time job, you know? We don't actually sleep. We sleep for about half an hour a day. Apart from that, we'd always just like, man, how do we improve the UI, man?
That's how we can dream improve that's how you dream improve the game. So. You just have a different perspective when you're sleeping, so...
What?
After every single... You have a different perspective when you're dreaming and stuff like that. Like, you can have dreams that are games related. I always have dreams that are games related. Like,
my game
whatever I end up playing, like, after these tournaments, I'm always, like, imagining an Ashes scenario or something, so... Yeah.
I always get this weird crossover of games in my dreams.
Okay.
So there'll be, like, say, Company of Heroes, but then there'll also be 0 Hour or something, and it's like, whoa, this is weird. But at the time, you don't think it's weird because you're in the dream, so it all makes sense to you. But then you wake up, you're like, whoa, that was weird. But anyway, let's sort of see what's been happening here. We've got triple armories already done now for Dante. Amelie's got triple assembly. He's got a quantum relay there as well, so he can actually start going for his more advanced cruisers.
Really decent pushing power thus far. I don't mind these kind of forward armories or near points because you get reinforcements that can contest things like orbitals coming in. So like before you go for Smarty Systems, for example, like the fact you have an armory on that point means that you can contest that really easily because whatever unit comes out next can contest. So spread out forward production, I'm a fan of.
So
engineer? No, he's okay.
Doing a Smarty. So this is a really good map for the long-ranged cruisers, the Hero and the Eradicator, because you can fire over this basin, the low ground, and you can have these really good engagements. So that's my strategy on this map. Is I like to rush out either the Hero or the Eradicator. They're sort of similar what they do, but both being very long-range cruisers. They do require one of the tech structures, the weapons lab in the case of PHC, Subspace Streamer, which is actually more expensive in the case of the Substrate.
And artillery pressure would also be pretty big here as well. Oh no! Good micro from Dante. I thought he was going to miss the whip, and then he microed back, so the Zeus got it. Made sure all the frigates get traded out. So a good engagement for Dante. Just trades fairly evenly. Good to see.
Yep. So he's got a couple of Smarties here, and this is a pretty important point on the map here. Yeah. It's a very narrow attack path.
Surprised the engineer actually went and finished the armory first rather than going for any defenses. But yeah, I suppose Dante can afford it.
Throwing down a Sentinel would be really nice. Sentinels one-shot drone hives, so they're really important. Because drone hives are actually really good versus buildings, because unlike a lot of other cruisers, like they do full damage to buildings.
Yeah.
But then the fact that the Sentinels one-shots them kind of negates that in a sense. So I like Sentinels when it's in a position where you know it's really important, where they can push through. Getting a Sentinel is better. Actually, same with the Nemesis too. I think I saw a Nemesis somewhere, didn't I? Or maybe I'm just crazy.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see one. Never mind.
You're crazy? Yes, crazy. By the way, the artillery, this artillery effect is one of my favorites in the game. The one that Dante's using up the top. The what is it called? The Surf's. To the right,
the Shredder turret.
Shredder.
Yeah,
Shredder.
yeah.
That's a
Drone,
drone
sorry.
MRV to start off with.
Shredder's
So,
the
yeah,
upgraded drone. Yeah, really good. It's like pseudo artillery. It's 1,200, so it's not hardcore artillery, but it's enough to certainly get this sieging going on here. We can see he's taking out the Smart. He's going to take out the metal extractors as well. Yeah, there we go.
That was a great choice.
Dante, he knows what's up. Uh-oh, but maybe it's going to be too late.
Just in time?
Nah.
If he pulls units. I was going to say if he pulls units, but there's just nothing nearby. He's already... this is just such a bad time for Dante to rotate that cruiser army over to the left when he hadn't solidified the position.
Yeah, exactly. He should have finished the Sentinel first.
So now he's going to lose an armory at least. Minimum, he loses an armory here.
And it's getting his production too. I mean, he's sending over an engineer. Pulls that one back. So this cruiser army has to do something. He's going to go around the left, camp out the assemblies. Assemblies are very squishy compared to armory, so production is quite fragile there for the substrate, deliberately so.
Ooh, okay, Dante's actually, sorry, Amelie's actually pulling here. I don't know if he can take this engagement. I think he should just keep pushing. Okay, yeah, he's changed his mind. I think he's going to keep pushing. I was going to say, I saw how many Athenas were there. I'm just like, what are you doing, bro? You can't take that fight. He's going to try to anyway with a few of these units.
Oh, this is a wonky engagement. They're both sort of semi-fighting. Not really sure if they should commit or not. Looks like Amelie now actually is the one suffering here. He's got an Annihilator cannon in position. And the Maulers have been trading, but this army's still looking pretty strong.
Well, he's getting taken down, and most of Amelie's forward army now gets cleaned up. Zeus is actually surviving. This is a great engagement for Dante.
Yeah, it needs to go around this. I like this. Just ignore the Annihilator. This is most of the production, actually. There are Maulers being produced, several at a time. I actually sniped down one of the engineers, and this is the Quantum Archive, so this is a pretty aggressive spot to be building your tech structures.
It's a very forward position. So that could definitely be taken down. The production forward isn't the worst thing in the world, and more Mauler are being produced now as well. Triple assembly in a forward position. Even the Reaper's going to contribute here.
That was only half his army, so that was a bit of a misplay there. Didn't quite have it all in position.
I don't think the Zeus's really would have turned that very much, and they're actually just going to get destroyed. Dante doesn't pull those back. Okay,
so I thought one player was going to lose the game just then, but really in the end, no big advantage. Their resource income is pretty even across the board. Quanta income's actually on point as well, and we see the Sentinel turret now being built a little bit further back, but perhaps actually for the better, because it's going to be a lot harder to siege that if it's further back. So this could shape up to be a really tense game here. It's 10 minutes on the timer, and not quite sure how this is going to go. I mean, no one's going for dreadnoughts just yet. Still pretty mid-game composition. No one's really gone for the advanced tech structures. It is a small map, so you can get punished if you rush those out.
Also, no air transitions from either of our players. No air pressure at all, which is interesting.
Well, it makes sense. On a smaller map, the range of advanced anti-air defense is so much higher relative to the map size.
And also the relative mobility of land units compared to air units.
Yeah.
The more ground you can cover with an air unit, obviously the more efficiency you're going to get out of it, as opposed to land units, which have to cover more ground. But yeah, as you said, on a map like this, it's really not going to make that much of a difference in terms of travel time.
Another army here. Dante certainly outnumbered, so he decides to pull back into his Smarties.
Should be a good fight. It's going to cost him an Athena, but not the worst thing in the world. Has to turn now.
Alright, now he turns to fight with two Smarties. Don't know if it's going to really matter though.
No.
He's just so outnumbered there.
That's the most efficient engagement he could have taken, so not the worst thing in the world. Quite hard to really disengage if you don't do it preemptively.
He has several of these artillery cruisers actually taking out the extractors, even as quantum jammers within range. Man, that's a pretty big blow for Dante. He's trying to reconsolidate his forces here. Those Smarties got taken out there by the frigates are pretty good versus structures.
Yeah, maybe the wrong time to give in to these Athenas. Even get a incursion here.
It actually may make the difference.
I think it will make the difference. It needs to do it.
He should have called it behind the army though, so Zeus was within range. His Artemis cruisers are actually marching towards the Mauler line. It's not advised.
No, I should have probably pulled further back. Because even if these get traded out now by the Athenas, it means you've already lost the Artemis cruisers. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty sure just purposely going to try and snipe the Artemis here. Maybe not. Okay, doesn't finish it off. That's cool.
Well.
Okay, not actually a terrible fight, though. Does start cutting into the artillery from Dante, which makes this forward position even harder to siege. Amelie also with double trinium points, so helping out his economy. That does apply to the UI, doesn't it, as well? Like what we see, what we see there, it does. Yeah. In terms of Amelie's income is relative to Dante's.
When you hover over the income, it actually breaks it down if you select.
Cool.
Amelie, right? Yeah, it'll say. So he's getting 48 metal from extractors, and he's getting what it was previously 9 metal from trinium. So you can see what it actually does grant, even though it's 10% per. So you can do the maths pretty easily. Quick maths. Okay, it's actually, look, double orbital here. He went for the incursion and the sentries. Don't know if it's going to really pay off, though. There was already maulers nearby. This one was cut off. Actually, this one will be cut off briefly. So he will have to cut it off for some time for it to really pay off. Though also sniping a quantum archive is quite nice. Well, this one's been captured back anyway, so called down a serpentine turret in response. A really quick response was Amelie, and yeah, I don't think that was really worth it.
Yeah, this is just an annoying micro distraction beyond anything else, because it just pulls Amelie's attention.
Well, maybe it was done deliberately here, given that he's got a bit of a follow-up cruiser army, though. However, the bulk of the army wasn't called into fight. Quantum upgrades perhaps would be bigger for Amelie, given that he hasn't used any orbital abilities.
These Artemis are getting cleaned up before the rest of the army gets here from Dante. Very nice engagement by Amelie. So Dante's done baited himself, though he does take out the forward quantum jam. I'm not sure if he can do anything with that, though. He's already spent his quanta.
He's also been focusing down the heavy knight, couldn't quite finish it. Pulling his army back, still has the sentinel, though it has taken some damage.
His Artemis cruisers are in the front as well.
Oh,
it's gonna be
wow.
nasty.
This is a great fight here for Dante, the sentinel there. And look at this concave. The choke point certainly favoring Dante, but now the Athenas have chased a little bit too far out of the range of the sentinel. The sentinel hasn't been firing this entire time, so actually a little bit too quick on the trigger. If he pulled the maulers in a little bit further, the sentinel would have been firing the entire time.
Yeah, so the sentinel actually had my full attention the entire engagement. I was trying to see if it was going to fire, and it didn't.
Yeah,
was definitely an early trigger pull. With that being said, I'm pretty sure Dante can consolidate here. We'll lose more Athenas as a result of it, but I'm not sure how many more units Amelie can stream forward. It might be enough. Yeah, Dante thinks it's enough.
He's within range of all his production now, so he was going to get picked off there, and he was going for a dreadnought. Yeah, look at this. Amelie just having so much more quantum upgrades, because Dante went for those orbitals, which at least the second volley didn't exactly do much. So that's also why that engagement went a lot better than what I thought it was going to for Amelie's, because he had all those upgrades, and they certainly make a difference. So GG, well played. That was a nice one. I think a much better use of quanta for Dante would have been going for the EMP pulse from the orbital, the energy projector. That's so powerful. It also unlocks the drone bay, which is quite nice. So yeah, well played to Amelie. He does take that one.